I'm making this video for a class on using technology and health in PE. And I thought I might just reflect a little bit on the changes that have happened in the past 20 years that I've seen regarding technology and sports and technology and teaching physical education. First one I thought about was high-tech stadiums. A few summers ago I went to a baseball game at the Milwaukee Brewers. On a hot summer day, I went into the stadium. It was air conditioned, it was covered, and just before game time they opened the top to have a natural environment. And about the fifth inning it started to sprinkle and they closed the top. And it started to rain, a game that probably would have been delayed but went on because of high-tech stadiums. A second thing that has happened has been videotaping of games. I played 3 sports in high school in the 1970s and early 80s, and as an athlete, I never once watched a video of myself play. But games are taped now, and routinely, as a high school coach in the 1990s, our head basketball coach would simply call his opponent and say, "I've got a tape for you. You willing to exchange tapes?" And the old practice of scouting has gone out the window. In fact, at the small college that I'm at, we even have streaming video of games. So athletes who come from a distance, this will boot up. I have the sound off. You might be able to just see a picture there. But athletes who come from a distance, their parents can watch them play while they're away from home. And I know that parents take advantage of this because I'll get text after the game on how their daughter played. Another thing that happens is we get games on demand. I love soccer. I coach soccer, and when I played soccer, we would never see professional soccer on TV. Now we can set the recorder to record all kinds of games, and there are lots of opportunities. If you've been golfing recently, you might find people with electronic pin locators. Seems to be a lot easier than the old guessing game, although I don't think they're legal in professional sports. In the 1990s, I was in a fantasy basketball league where we figured everything out by hand. And nowadays, this fall, I'm in a fantasy football league, and you just, when the games are done for the weekend, log on and see what the scores are. A new technology in sports that's really coming into its own is instant replay to avoid mistakes. And who hasn't noticed HD TV, that much better picture? How about the yellow first down line in football? This summer at the Olympics, we saw an advancement in technology with advanced prosthetics for disabled athletes. And how about online ticket sales? I went to StubHub this summer and went to a Kansas City Royals baseball game for a ticketed price that was under $1. Of course, by the time the convenience fees were on, it was about $4 or $5, but still a very cheap seat. However, you have to be careful. Like if you go to Ticketmaster, the convenience fees can really be something. What about the monitoring of social media, the use of social media, the monitoring of Twitter? And when I became a coach at a small college in Kansas, I inherited a Facebook page that the school had created. It was interesting to note that no new pictures had been put on it for a long time, and that the reality is that as the coach, I'm the one who either has a player or keep up this Facebook site. So in terms of recruitment and what coaches are responsible for, we're responsible for a lot more with media. In the past few years, there's been a controversy over high-tech swimming suits. They were actually banned at the Olympics, and I saw one quote where the swimming suits were called technological doping. It's kind of interesting. I went to a couple Royals baseball games this summer, and they encouraged us to text our vote. How often is that coming on? And there are some interesting things on the cutting edge. The Pittsburgh Penguins broadcast a hockey game in the Pittsburgh Penguins, when you go to the game, if you have a device that uses Wi-Fi, they have something called Yin's Cam, where you can go and you can get an instant replay from the camera angle of your choosing. The NHL did experiment last season with broadcasting games in 3D. I'm all for that because I have trouble following the puck on my TV. Coming down the line is both ingestible and wearable computers to measure body temperatures and monitor vital signs. And if you've ever had an athlete experience heat stroke, that ingestible one is designed clearly to monitor the inner body temperature and prevent that. Of course, there's carbon nanotechnology that has improved golf clubs and tennis rackets. An interesting one that I read about was that English rugby is using something called radio frequency identification technology, where there's a chip placed in the ball, and 2,000 times per second it transmits the location of the ball. Imagine how that could help with eliminating bad calls of the football or breaking the plane of the goal, or the soccer ball being all the way over the goal line. There are also implications for classes. I'm taking this class online, and I teach classes in a small college where, even though it is a regular classroom, this course that I pulled up is racquetball and meets in the racquetball courts. We still have quizzes online, for the reading quizzes online, and we go over their links to videos. This one, if it pulls up, would be the basic rules of racquetball. So students can, in addition to reading in their text about the rules of racquetball, they can get a quick refresher course in the basic rules of racquetball. There are a lot of great changes in technology. Some of them, although, come with costs. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of folks being on Twitter during games, or the immediate access that we get to some athletes' thoughts. Thanks for checking in.